This is Samuel Savage, and this is my video review of Battlefield 3. To begin with, this is the main screen that you come to whenever you join a game. Here you can customize all your weapons and your appearance of your weapons and yourself. This is where you choose your class. This is a map that shows the different control points on this type of map, which is domination, and here's your different options for choosing weapons without having to go to the customize, which has all the options. Here's the different places that you can spawn to. That was the end of the game. I'm gonna start a new game now, and during the meantime I'll explain some things. First of all, this is the scoreboard. It shows the scores and the kill and deaths of each player for both teams. The first thing that you should know is the system requirements. These are my requirements that I have for it. The main thing that you need to take into consideration when you're buying computer parts for this, or buying a computer, is the graphics card. On the NVIDIA side of things, it should be at least a GTX 400 series graphics card, and for AMD it should be at least a Radeon HD 4000. Anything less than that, and you'll have to lower the settings from Ultra, otherwise it will be pretty unbearable to play because the frame rate will be below 20 frames per second, which is the noticeable range for a frame per second for humans. This is my favorite map, Metro. It's always a big deal about who gets to be first, because whoever gets to be first will most likely win the game if they're able to hold on to it for the rest of the game. And if you're the other team, you're going to try to capture it, and if you do, you might be able to win the game, but it's always difficult to do. Now I'll get back to system requirements. Besides the graphics card, the two other important things, three other important things that you need to take into consideration is that you need a large hard drive. You need at least 30 gigabytes if you want to play all the expansions besides the base game. Also, you'll want at least 8 gigabytes of RAM. 4 gigabytes won't work very well. Personally, I use 16 gigabytes because the game has never crashed for me except for maybe once with that much RAM. Besides RAM and the hard drive, you'll need a good processor. A dual core can do the job fine, but I would get a faster one over 3 gigahertz, otherwise you might experience some lag. Personally, I use a quad core at 3.4 gigahertz, so I don't experience any lag at all. Now I'll move on to the gameplay. As you already know, I told you already about the display screen, but besides that, there's the HUD, which is the head-up display. In the lower left, you see the map, the score, and the control of the control points. You also see your squad members next to that in green. In the top left is the chat box, and to chat all you have to do is press J and type. In the top right is who's killed who and with what weapon. The killer is on the left, the person that died is on the right, and the color is for each team. In the lower right is your health and percentage, and below that is the ammo. The left is the magazines, the number of bullets in the magazine, and on the right is the total. On the bottom is where the server itself will list messages that they have to give to players, such as no frags, which is a pretty common thing to have, and other features like that. Besides that, the some of the greatest advantages of this game include it's modern, it's realistic, and it's very customizable. The main disadvantage is that there's no what's it called, voice chatting, unlike games like Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops. Though can be considered an advantage too, because there's not some child or kid out there who's 10 years old yelling at you the whole time, or yelling at somebody else not playing the game. Like I said earlier, this game is very realistic compared to Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops. They're comparable, but they're not as good as this one. One of the big disadvantages, though, is for this game, especially with maps like this, and to a lesser extent other maps, is that there are times like what my team is doing right now, where it's called base rape, and basically what that is you're attacking the other team's base and they have nowhere to go, and they're having a difficult time pushing ahead. In a situation like this, it'll just take a long time for the game to end, and your team will usually win. Besides that, I don't have much else to say about this game, besides that it's just a wonderful game and I highly recommend it. And the rating system that I'll be using in my video game reviews goes as follows. It'll be a 1 to 10 scale, and for this game right now I give it a 9. And the only reason I give it the 9 is because of the base rape situation that happens in maps like this and some other ones. That is my review of Battlefield 3, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Hit subscribe and like this video. Share it with your friends if you liked it too. And that's it.